One thing I'm starting to realize is America has way more sandwich shops than we do here. Like we, the big ones, are probably Subway, genuinely. I think Subway's probably the only big Subway store, a store that sells like subs in this whole country. There's a massive gap in the market for another company. Whereas America, I think there's a place called Quiznos that does really good sandwiches. There's so many places you can get like a po' boy and a Philly cheesesteak. But, where would be somewhere that, someone like me or someone who's not American should go get their subs from other than Subway? Because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of Subway.
Sandwiches may be one of the easiest meals to make at home, but that doesn't mean that
Whoa,
you
look
always
at
have
the
the ingredients
size.
on hand to make a top quality sandwich. Sometimes it's just
Oh,
easier to
it's
stop by your
huge.
local chain sandwich shop, but not all of them are
Ooh.
created equally. Subway might be the most well-known sandwich shop in the country, but it clocks in with the very worst ranking. There's a good reason for that,
Wow.
though. Their sandwiches are just not that good. That's not a surprise when you consider the quality of some of the restaurant's food. They've had multiple scandals with multiple ingredients and have been the target of accusations that animal products didn't come from the actual animal they'd advertised,
Oh my
including
God.
tuna and chicken. But scandals aside, just step into a Subway and you'll see why it doesn't score well in our ranking. The vegetables often look limp and sad, and sometimes you can tell that they've been sitting there for a long time. The meat is just average deli meat you can find at any grocery store, and their sandwich combinations aren't even that exciting or unique. If you're spending money on a sub sandwich, you want to make sure you're going to get a good one, and that's just not a guarantee when you go to Subway. What you may not realize
Yeah, honestly, if any of you watching this have the money to start a sub business in the UK, do it. There's such a big gap in the market. Subway just dominates it, and it's just frankly not that good.
about Blimpy is the fact that it doesn't offer much that's very original. Not everything on the menu is bad, it just seems like it's all food that you could get at any other sandwich chain around the country. One Reddit user noticed this too when they compared Blimpy to Subway. I went into a Blimpy the other day. They have a setup very similar to Subway, from the bread selection to how the meats and veggies are organized. The colors of the menu are similar, and they both have cookies displayed near the cash register. It's clear that Blimpy didn't copy Subway. In fact, the chain was around before Subway even came onto the scene. But the bottom line is that neither one offers amazing sandwiches. Since you can basically get the same thing at both places, you're probably going to be disappointed by Blimpy if you also dislike Subway.
I see.
Did you know that Quiznos locations are closing all over the country? And it's not just because of the pandemic. These chain locations were struggling well before the economy.
Ooh, is that lobster though? Is that it looks like lobster or crab. Oh my God, this looks so good.
Economy tanked during the COVID-19 crisis. In 2014, they reportedly filed for bankruptcy, which indicates that Quiznos may not be the best sandwich shop on the block. While the sandwiches at this chain are generally better than what you'd find at a place like Subway, that doesn't mean they're necessarily that good. Rather, they have slightly better ingredients and are often served toasted. However, along with those extra ingredients and cooking methods, you see a higher price than you would at a budget chain like Subway. If the sandwiches aren't that much better than your standard sub, then we don't see the point in paying more for them.
I agree. I'm happy to pay more, but it's got to be better, right? Quality's got to be better.
After all, just because a sandwich is toasted doesn't necessarily make it inherently better. There's a lot to love about Which Wich. Perhaps the most notable positive feature of this restaurant chain is the fact that it's way easier to order your sandwich than it is at most shops. That's because instead of having to stand there outlining your order to the person working behind the counter, you just mark your order on a piece of paper. That's a pretty big bonus in our book. After all, who likes having to yell your order over a glass partition? However, the ease of ordering doesn't make the sandwiches at this shop taste any better. Despite the wide variety of options this place offers, they're not particularly compelling. The meat seems just all right, and the veggies aren't always up to snuff.
I mean, they're generous with the meat though. There's a lot of meat in this sandwich. Like, definitely more than you'd get in a Subway.
Despite the ingenious design of this restaurant, it's still one that we would avoid nonetheless. Panera Bread sandwiches comprise a significant portion of the menu, and while many of the options look fantastic, once you actually try them, you may be more than a little bit disappointed. For example, the Mediterranean veggie sandwich looks absolutely delicious, but in reality, it just doesn't have that much flavor. If you're not a veggie lover, that may not sound surprising, but it doesn't get much better with the meat-filled offerings either. The Smokehouse Barbecue
Oh my God, get that in my stomach right now. You can't tell me that doesn't look good. Come on.
chicken sandwich should be one of the most delicious items on the menu, but the meat is dry, and there are few toppings to give the sandwich any depth of flavor. We're not saying that you should skip this place entirely, but next time, instead of getting a sandwich, you may want to opt for anything that's not a sandwich. You might think that Atlanta Bread Company would offer some of the most delicious sandwiches in the country with its southern influence and roots, but unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case. Not everything on the menu is bad, but you should be careful with what you order if you want to make sure you're getting the best sandwich possible. Here, the classic sandwiches are downright boring. You get to choose your bread and meat, but they all come with onion, tomato, lettuce, mayonnaise, and spicy mustard. Basically, they're simple sandwiches you could easily make at home, and they don't pack a lot of flavor. If you're looking for something more interesting, you might—
I mean, yeah, that does look pretty boring. You know, you've got some rye bread, you've got some tuna, some tomato. There's nothing really that you could make this easily within 5 minutes at home.
want to opt for one of the signature sandwiches, though they can be kind of hit or miss. There are many different dishes you can snag at Corner Bakery Cafe, but sandwiches are their bread and butter. No pun intended. Some of these sandwiches are unlike any other we've seen at other major sandwich chains. For example, the chicken pomodori panini is fantastic, and if you're looking for a sandwich that feels a bit fancy in the middle of your day, then this option may just be the way to go. However, not every sandwich on the menu is equally interesting. We could take or leave options such as the tomato mozzarella or carved ham and Swiss. There's just nothing that interesting or different about them, and we think different sandwich places do these basics better. When it comes to freshly baked bread, you know you're going to be getting quality when you make your way to Schlotzsky's. This sandwich shop was founded in
Ooh, generous helping of beef. The thing I don't know whether these adverts are accurate. Like, is this actually the amount of beef you'll get in a sandwich from Schlotzsky's? Or is this purely for, like, you know, promotional material? Because this, if you get this much beef, I would buy this. This is a lot of beef.
1971, and their signature sandwich was based on the New Orleans classic sandwich, the muffaletta. It has 3 different meats between thick slices of bread, and it comes with a smattering of condiments that ups the flavor even more. There are also different versions of it that include different types of meat, so you can decide what kind of protein you prefer. It's simply called the original, and it's something you should try if you ever find yourself at this chain. Apart from the muffaletta, though, we aren't too excited with this restaurant's selection of sandwiches. If you're out and about and looking for some place to eat, this sandwich shop isn't likely to disappoint you, but you're probably not going to be blown away by most of the menu items either. A huge bonus at Potbelly is that pretty much anyone can find a sandwich they're going to enjoy at this spot, especially considering there are even vegetarian options for those who prefer to leave meat out of their diets and a PB&J for the kids. However, it doesn't stop there. This place also purportedly has a secret menu, meaning you can combine your favorite aspects of their different sandwiches to create a meal that's perfect for your taste buds. Some of the sandwiches on the menu are fantastic, like the Italian sandwich.
This looks good. Oh my God. This looks full of flavor. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry.
However, others are kind of lackluster, such as the Mediterranean. Choose wisely, and you're not going to be let down by the select. Pret-a-Manger was founded in London in 1986, and since then, it's expanded considerably. In the past, it was unusual to find a location in the United States, but that's changing now. That's a good thing, since the sandwiches here are super tasty, and the coffee isn't bad either. If you're checking out the chain in the morning, you may want to opt for the egg salad and avocado breakfast baguette. It certainly has a European feel to it, and the baguettes they use are good quality. Other sandwiches, including the cheddar and tomato sandwich and the Bang Bang chicken wrap, are also solid options. In fact, this place would rank higher on our list if there were just more options. We wish there were more to choose from, but considering that the items that are on the menu are top quality, we can't complain too much.
Yeah, I'll give Pret, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, but she's right. There's not a lot of options, and it's a little bit pricey for the size of the sandwich, but in terms of taste, yeah.
Sure, Firehouse Subs is more expensive, but that's because you're going to be getting a higher quality product when you go to a place like this. This sub spot has a reputation for using high quality meats and cheeses, which makes every sandwich taste better. Why does the meat and cheese taste so good here? Part of it has to do with the fact that they're steamed before being served in the sandwiches, which gives them a tenderness and a flavor that can't be matched by most sandwich spots. Though the sandwiches may be slightly simple to begin with, you can personalize them to your liking. The end result is almost always something delicious, so if you haven't checked out this spot for yourself, you should visit soon. Jimmy John's is every late-night snacker's dream. First of all,
I've heard of Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's has been around for a while, hasn't it?
It's super easy to order delivery from this place at pretty much any point in the day if you live close to one. Second of all, you know you're going to get your order freaky fast. The best part of this sandwich shop, though, the food is really incredible. At first glance, it may seem like most of the items are plain, boring sandwiches that you can find anywhere, but once you try one of these—
Can you really get a sub with this? This one's huge. This looks like 15 inches, at least.
bad boys for yourself, you might change your tune. If you're looking for the best this menu has to offer, we'd recommend one of the more creative options available there. However, even if you do go with one of the simpler choices, chances are you're still going to be happy with the outcome. Our advice? Get the oil and vinegar on whatever sandwich you order, and it's guaranteed to be 50% better.
I love you, and I'm ready to tell this entire restaurant. Got it off my chest.
When you think of a standard sandwich shop, you probably don't think of anything too upscale. However, when you decide to get a sandwich at Oon Pan, you're going to get a completely different experience. Here, you'll find a sit-down restaurant where you can order amazing sandwiches along with French-inspired dishes that'll have you coming back for more.
But can you really call this a sandwich shop? This sounds like a restaurant that does sandwiches. You can't really categorize this with Subway, can you?
From the turkey melt to the grilled cheese, you
Looks
know
good,
you're
though.
going to get a fantastic sandwich made with high-quality bread when you grab lunch here. Bottom line, if you're looking for an incredible sandwich eating experience, you can't go wrong with a trip to Oon Pan. Unfortunately, you won't find a Publix deli in every state in the country. The grocery retailer is mostly located in the South, and if you live in this region, then you'll know that one of the best places to snag a sandwich is at a Publix deli. These sandwiches are legendary, and you can personalize them to your specifications so you get what you want every single time. Many agree that these top-quality subs take the cake for the best sub in the country, but unfortunately, the Publix deli couldn't make the top spot because the grocery store's locations are so limited in scope. But if you ever find yourself in the South and want
This looks seriously good. What kind of cheese is this as well? This looks like fancy cheese.
to get an amazing sandwich that you may never forget, a trip to Publix is in order. Just make sure you score the boar's head meat instead of the standard deli slices. And you may just be a convert too.
That sandwich was the only good thing going on in my life. Someone ate the only good thing going on in my life.
Finally, we have the best of the
Jersey
best,
Mike's.
Jersey Mike's. At first, this sandwich chain shop doesn't seem like anything that's especially impressive. It looks like an average sandwich shop. However, it's the sandwiches themselves and not the locations that make this place our favorite of the bunch. We love that the meats and cheeses are sliced right in front of you when you order your sandwich. That way, you know that all the ingredients are going to be fresh. Many of the ingredients are locally sourced as well, so you can feel good about whatever you're ordering. We love the fact that you can find an amazing selection of both hot and cold sandwiches at this spot, while many other sandwich shops specialize in one or the other. Oh, and we can't forget about that special mixture of olive oil and vinegar that blesses the sandwiches you order here.
It seems like oil and vinegar is a really popular thing on American subs, but I've never had it before. Does it like really improve the flavor that much?
This is the condiment that will take your sandwich to a whole new level, so don't forget to ask for extra if you want your sandwich to have a little extra zing. Check out one of our
Oh my God, guys. I am so, I don't know whether you caught it, but during the video, my stomach has just been going. I'm hungry. I'm gonna try and find myself like a really nice sandwich for lunch today, but I can't think of where I'd be able to get something really nice like this, but I'm definitely gonna look. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.